Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I'll be sharing with you a recipe for raw pancakes with blueberry sauce and coconut whipped cream. So I'm gonna jump right in and hope you enjoy. So I like to get the dry ingredients ready first. I'll explain why in a second. I'm using some buckwheat groats and whole golden flax seeds here, which I'm gonna put into a high-speed blender and process it into a fine powder. You can certainly use buckwheat flour and already ground flax seeds, but I just like to start with whole ingredients and process them myself. Next up are the bananas. Obviously, I didn't have the ripest bananas on hand, but do try to use ripe bananas. They're sweeter and easier to work with because they're nice and soft. Now, the reason I started with the dry ingredients is that bananas brown really quickly. So if you mash the bananas first and then get the dry ingredients ready, the bananas will turn brown and so will your pancakes. And yeah, browning doesn't affect the taste at all, so you don't have to worry much about it, but I just like my pancakes to be as light as possible. To speed up the process of mashing the bananas, you can put them in a high-speed blender and puree them. But here I'm just using a fork and mashing the bananas as best as I can. When the bananas are prepped, add the ground buckwheat, ground golden flax seeds, and some almond meal. Mix it well and then add the rest of the ingredients. I'm just adding some cinnamon and maple syrup. I usually add some vanilla as well, but I didn't have any on hand when I was filming this video, but I would highly recommend adding it in. Now, the next step is to get the pancakes into a dehydrator or an oven with dehydrator settings. So what you want to do is scoop some of the pancake batter onto parchment paper and create circles. I like using circle rings to get the pancakes really nice and round, but that's just the perfectionist in me. The pancake batter won't spread in the dehydrator, so you can go ahead and just spread the pancake batter into circles without using any rings. The dehydration time will vary depending on whether you're using an oven or an actual dehydrator. Generally, you want to dehydrate these pancakes in 115 degrees Fahrenheit for about 2.5 hours, then using a spatula, flip them over, and then dehydrate them for another 2.5 hours. Alright, so now that the pancakes are ready, let's move on to the toppings. So first up is the coconut whipped cream, which is really easy to make. All you need is a can of full-fat coconut milk and a hand beater. The most important thing is to get full-fat coconut milk. It doesn't really matter what brand you use, although I really like this Thai brand because the cream separates really nicely from the liquid and it's not grainy. I don't know if you have the same experience, but sometimes when I purchase canned coconut milk from other brands, the cream just ends up being really grainy no matter how hard I whip it. So I usually stick with this brand. Also, one tip I have is to let the coconut milk sit in the fridge overnight because the chilling does help with the coconut cream separation. So once the cream is whipped, transfer it into a piping bag and put it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. And if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a Ziploc bag instead and just cut off one of the corners. Finally, the blueberry sauce. So combine some blueberries and maple syrup in a small saucepan and let it all simmer over medium heat. Cook the blueberries until they're slightly softened. It will take about 4 to 5 minutes, and you should also see the sauce starting to thicken up. Do watch it really closely though, because once the sauce does thicken up, it can burn quickly. So now that all the toppings are ready, it's time to serve the pancakes. So stack the pancakes on top of each other first and then add the toppings. I like to start with the coconut whipped cream. You can use as much or as little as you like, and then top it off with some of the maple syrup blueberry sauce. This is a seriously delicious breakfast or dessert, and I'm sure you'll love it. I used to make raw pancakes all the time when I was single, but then I got married and Tanner is used to cooked pancakes, and so I kind of felt like, well, that's what I should make. So I stopped making raw pancakes, but recently one of my followers asked me to show her how to make raw pancakes. So this is the recipe that I really like and that I used to use all the time.
And I can say that this one doesn't taste very strongly like buckwheat, which is really good. I know that buckwheat tends to have a very overpowering flavor. And in this case, there's not even a hint of it in the aftertaste. It's denser than a normal pancake. It hits your stomach and that's the main difference between it and a normal pancake. Kind of has the same consistency, texture as a whole wheat pancake kind of feel. But it would be heavier. Tastes fine. I don't know.
We can start making raw pancakes from now on?
I think we could start making raw pancakes from now on.
Yay!
It really does taste good, just even on its own, without all the coconut and stuff.
Awesome! So I hope you'll give this recipe a try. Please give me a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.